What's good, everybody? I'm Josiah the Prince, producer, artist, engineer based in Wisconsin, and you're now tuned into the Journey Podcast, where we strive to inspire the future generation of young entrepreneurs, business owners, and creators. Today we have a special guest, y'all. Our special guest is from Illinois, right?
Yep.
Illinois, label owner, designer, producer, artist, business owner, father, all around great man. My brother, Rune Will, I appreciate you being on my podcast today.
Blessing.
It's definitely a blessing having you on here. Definitely with that new hit you got out right now called Nightcap, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how y'all did that, but that right there, it don't matter who's listening to it. The minute you turn that on, it's just a vibe. As soon as it come on, that that's it.
Hey, I wanted to bring back some of that Chi-Town soul, so you gotta incorporate the jazz element because the jazz clubs is like big as shit in Chicago. So, and then my grandfather, he was huge into DJing, like funk and like vinyl records. So like I grew up with that in the house. And then my uncle was actually DJ, and he DJed with Twista and like everyone and Rebel XD, and it was fucking crazy. And early in my career, I didn't tap into that at all. So it would be like a whole like my upbringing through all like the funk and like vinyl records and everything, and then like what I was doing, and it's like you ain't tapping into none of this stuff you grew up on.
Right. I did
You
the
see like
same
here and there
thing.
in the production. Yeah, it's crazy. That Nightcap is like, man, and that came off of That was after like an AR, actually like several ARs, and it was like, yeah, you know, we mess with you, but we don't want to hear any more of that, you know, the Black Lives Matter conscious stuff. Like we haven't heard it. I'm like, what? Like this, because I made Blowing the Leaves,
Right.
and that video was like, man, that was
Intense.
like 8 days of filming. Like it was freaking crazy. And planning and all that, and they was like, nah, we don't want that. We ain't feeling it. I was like, yeah.
You stirring the pot, sir. We're gonna have to leave you alone, man.
So I was like, all right. Let me give it something. And then that came out, and then like Natali went crazy on the saxophone. Like the track was already fire. Like before I even added Obadiah in and all that, and people was listening to it, was like, yo, that fire. And I'm like, I don't know. Something. I was actually on the way to the grocery store, and I had to be playing like the bones of it. And I'm like, and I had no other words, and I was like, what was it? Beyond Your Infinity. I was like, man, it's that buzzing on Beyond Your Infinity. I was like, yo, that shit's fire. That's some player shit.
Right.
So I was like, all right. I got back to the crib, and I was like, nah, I ain't cooking dinner right now. I'm going back to the stew.
Going right in.
And then that started coming out, and I was like, damn, yes, this the one.
So how long was the process of getting the beat together all the way to finishing the project?
Damn. That's shit. I think it was about 3.5 months.
Because I know you just slapped it in my inbox, bro. Check this out. Which one you? I'm like, whoa, that's smoke right there.
We had so many versions of it because, like, Dio would come over and he'd be like, yo, let me add this. So I had like so many takes of like him going off, and I had like multiple verses, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stop adding
Right.
track like 19 minutes long, like the Sugar Hill game.
Right.
So I'm like, nah, okay, we gonna make this. Try to make it a quick record, and it's still longish. It's only 2 verses, but the song damn near 5 minutes long.
It's a vibe though. It's like you don't really care how long it is because the whole thing just feels good. It's a feel good track, bro. Just good vibes throughout that whole thing, from the saxophone to the verses to the singing, bro. You definitely did your thing on that.
Especially, you know, right, 2021, you know, after like 2020 and all the shit we went through, and it's like, you know, people just trying to relax, chill, just vibe. Like 2020 was a motherfucker.
You ain't never lied.
So people like, yo, this is some shit that's gonna catch because people just wanna have a good time right now. Like things opening up, the weather nice, and we can actually do something about it. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a perfect record.
I'm already knowing.
And the project about to be crazy.
Yeah, you got a full project attached to the whole thing.
High Soul is ridiculous. Hesh, my DJ Jazz Jelly, he always on me about the next single. Like he's heard it for like the past like 2 months, and he's like, yo, I play this for people, they go nuts. He's down in Atlanta right now, and he was like, yo, I dropped a snippet of it, and people was like, yo, what is this record? I'm like, yo, we can't put that out. There's a process to things. That's the sucky thing about being an artist and you moving properly. Like, no matter how much you want to do something, it's like, nope. There's a timetable, there's a rollout, things gotta be done proper.
Patience.
And I'm like, damn, for real? They feel it's like, yeah, you should drop it now. I'm like, that's not the next single, no.
Sorry, son. That's not happening. That's just on the album. Wait for the album there.
I'm like, there's some single that drops before that and then that one.
Right, be patient. Swear.
It's like, come on,
I
keep teasing it every time I'm DJing. I'm like, dude, I know. He's one of them DJs, like, he's like a true DJ, so he likes to mix. Like, he want to catch the vibe. And he basically want to hold you hostage on the dance floor. Like, he don't want you to, he one of them DJs, you're like, damn, this nigga playing another record. Oh, shit, it's my jam.
Right. I'm tired, though. I can't sit down.
It's been like 40 minutes. You try to get a drink. You like start walking off. You're like, oh, shit.
Hey, fuck that drink. DJ, turn it on.
Your homie's like, no, I thought she was going to get a beer. Man,
I don't know.
I walked that way, and then shit, I just came back.
See, what had happened was, I got a question though. Where did the name Rune come from?
Man, you see, I went through so many name changes early in my career, and I was like, I was tired of the monikers and having to make stories behind like what it was, because I grew up in love with sci-fi, so I always had some elaborate freaking story behind the names, and then I have to make a logo for them, and then it became a headache because I used to create so much music, and sometimes as an artist, like, your fans want to know what you are, so you got to stay in like one thing, or at least like a ballpark. So I would be like all over the place. It's like, damn. So I make all these like monikers for like different things. I'm like, nah, I'm done. So when I stepped away to like develop more as a producer and a songwriter, and when I came back, I was like, you know what? I'm just taking my name. My name is Rune Williams. So everyone be calling me Rune since like forever. So I'm like, Rune Will. So I can't do like the Prince thing, just one name.
That's all good.
I know Shalon pull it off. It's like Shalon.
Right.
But I'm like, Rune is just so like, it's like, Rune what? I'm like, all right, Rune Will. But the logo I kept, my infatuation with dragons. So the logo is like the Chicago skyline with the dragon come out to one side. It makes an R and a W, but people are like, they don't notice it until I tell them. They're like,
Let's go back and look at it.
It's like an X. Is that I see the R, but what's going on? I'm like, that's an R and W.
Yeah, let me check that out again. I don't think I saw it either. How long have you been doing music? I think you've answered that already, but how long have you been doing it?
Shit. Well over 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a journey for me. There is one part of my career, and I kind of still kick myself for it, because I was younger. I was young, and I got asked to open up for T-Pain.
What?
When he was popping, like popping. I'm talking Lil Wayne and him. Not get money.
That's right.
Right. And they came to the rave, and at the time, the promoter hit me because he knew my brother. Because my brother, he's always been in music. Like he's tied in with Jet Life right now, and they reached out to him because he was sharing my shit. So they asked me to open up, and I was like, man, my daddy gonna let me go out there and fucking perform this shit. It's fucking rave. It's late night. Like, nah, this ain't gonna happen. So in my eyes, I was like, yo, this one person reaching out, more people gonna reach out.
That's true.
So I was like, nah, I'm a, you can catch me again. And I look back, I'm like, man.
Right, it's all been for pain. Damn.
I could have understood your pain, going nuts.
Right. It's all good. He gonna be looking at you again. Watch.
It's
Even
funny
more.
because with like that story, the people that Jazz has been networking with are from T-Pain's crew.
See?
So one of his
Right now,
producers
but a
actually like was checking out Nightcap when Jazz was down there. He was doing it's like a collaboration with Catino, Trap Beckham, and I can't remember the name of it. Is it Players House or I think that's the organization down there, and they do a lot of things. Like there's a lot of artists in Atlanta.
Right.
So people pop up in the building like all the fucking time. So he was like, so and so was like talking to me about Nightcap. Like he came up to the booth and he was like, yo, who did that song? And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. It's like full circle, like T-Pain.
Right.
I was like, one day I knew he was gonna come back.
You had no choice. Sitting there making too much noise, and that's a hit right there. You cannot not vibe to that.
Yeah,
That's a hit right there.
I was playing out the project, and it's so much planning. I was playing out for my guy, the Underdog. He's one of my producers, and he was like, yo, all right, this is Nightcap. He's like, dog, you can't play this song. We gotta skip it. He's like, I play this every day. And he's like, yo, if we play this record, I'm gonna play it again. I'm going to listener mode instead of producer mode, and I'm gonna just be like, trying to hear this record over and over again. We planning right now. I'm all right. Skip. Next record.
All right. Well, who or what inspired you to start doing music?
I kind of owe it all to. I owe it all to a kid in like fifth or sixth grade, because I used to do poetry, and kid was like, yo, this would sound dope if it was a rap, and I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you should put this over a beat, and doing poetry, I'm like this. I'm just talking about like abstract thoughts and shit. Like nobody want to like listen to this shit. So I tried it, and it was horrible. Like the first raps were absolutely trash. Like the concept was there, the wordplay and metaphors, but like getting it in the structure of like writing to an instrumental versus like poetry, you can just there's no structure. It's whatever you want to do. So them first things was horrible. I found one of my notebooks from back in the day. I was reading. I was like, yo, I thought this was hot. Nah. Now I'm trying to get in the mindset of like, a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, and I'm like, nah.
Still
10-year-olds nowadays got hits on Spotify, Apple Music right now. Nah, this wouldn't cut it.
Okay. Well, you're making better music now, at least. So
Yeah.
Came a long way.
Growth.
Is any of your music based on true events?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, there's so many. I've been through so much in life, and so many experiences, and I'll drop. I'm kind of like I wouldn't say I'm a reserved person, but I got a small circle. And I'll pop out here and there, and then I just chill. So like people that know me, they know like the whole plethora of shit that I've been through, and then it'll come out in like records. Sometimes people like, I wouldn't assume that about you. I'm like, you gotta know me.
Yeah, I'm not just broadcasting my life out.
I grew up in Chicago, like fucking the South Side where shit was wild.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
And then I moved up to Milwaukee, and then even then, like I had two addresses, two houses, so literally every week, drive down to Chicago. Like, get out of school Friday by like 6 o'clock Friday evening, drive down to Chicago. Don't come back till Monday. So driving like straight from Chicago to get dropped off at school.
Right.
So like, people are like, yo, what's your home? I'm like, technically my home has always been Chicago. Like even when I moved away, I couldn't get away.
Right.
Like that was my shit. So like, I've seen so much, and like the difference between Wisconsin and Illinois is like, when I first moved up here, I was like, yo, why does it seem so chill? Like, it's like the whole state is high. Chicago is it's fast as shit. Like, what was funny is that I'm like, I don't know why people in Chicago ain't got like a shit ton of patience, because you can't get nowhere quick. It don't matter if you're going 4 blocks. That shit could take you 40 minutes.
That's true.
So when like coming up here and they're like, yeah, it's a traffic jam. Like, traffic jam be doing 45. What you mean it's a traffic jam? In Chicago, traffic jam and your ass stuck. You ain't moving. You like, damn, do I got enough gas to get to the next exit? Fuck. You see a cop, the cop trying to get through. You're like, how the fuck he gonna get through? It's 5 lanes of traffic.
Lights going and everything, dude, all the way up there.
Motherfuckers trying to hit each other to scoot over.
Right.
And in Chicago, man, you can't hit nobody's car.
Mm-mm.
Man, they ready to fall off the fucking car. Like, my neck. Oh,
right.
Shit, you done broke my shit.
They gonna get their payday.
So my motherfuckers know how to drive in Chicago.
Right.
Oh, fuck.
So I've always wondered, what is Beat Council, and when did you become part of Beat Council?
Beat Council, man. Beat Council is so much. It's a brotherhood. It's a collective of artists, producers, creatives, label, production team, family. Like, Beat Council started with Roberto Torres, TR, top rank 414, and he started in '97, and he was out. Like, it was crazy that he accomplished so much and was here. Like, everyone was like, yo, why he sound like he like from somewhere else? Like, the way he makes beats is just, he making industry quality beats, like stupid. The way he does, like, his sampling was on par with like Ninth Wonder. And it's crazy because he wasn't just like a producer, he was a studier. So he was one of those people that he would study so much and know all the intricacies of everything. So like when he would be trying to produce for you, he's talking about all the other nuances that you don't even realize as an artist. And that's where like when I first met him, it was in 2013, 2012 or 2013. And when I met him, like usually, I produce, so sit down, work through the lyrics and the beat. Everything started off with a cup of coffee. Like that was, don't nothing start. We don't hit the studio until you get a cup of cafe con leche. We're not even gonna talk about his coffee. His coffee's fire. People they hate coffee.
Yeah.
But like, I despise coffee. I don't know what this is. This ain't coffee. Like this ain't coffee. Like, I hate the taste, I hate the smell, but this is wonderful. We would have bets. We were like, yo, so-and-so said they hate coffee. I guarantee you won't be able to make them a cup of coffee. He'll make them a whole cup of coffee, and they're like, this is good. And they'll have a whole nother cup. So you're drinking coffee, right? You say you would never drink coffee.
I got to.
So like that whole relationship of like building something outside of just artist-producer relationship started with him, and that's how like Beat Council grew. And it was just this viewpoint of music is not just art, but it's a living, breathing thing.
Right.
So when you hear like a Beat Council record, it's not that we don't make quick microwave things. But like in general, like we like to make these digestible energies, these records. Like, for example, there's this record, New Year's, and that literally came off a vibe of like New Year's was coming up, and we were thinking about like all the. It was like a moment in B Council when we had finally got all the pieces lined up, and then we were looking at it like, what are gonna be the resolutions? Like, what we accomplished? Like sitting back on it, we just like put it on wax, and that's always been the thing with B Council is that the production's amazing, the storytelling, the conveying of like the experiences into records. And there's like just the many artists on B Council, Obadiah, with like, you know, his ability to like sing incredibly and rap at a high caliber. Armand, who just, you know, he just has a way with words and cadences that's just crazy. It's always been that way. And he's like, yo, it's just the Atlanta in me. And then we had Keandre, who like took like the family element but made it dope as hell. And then, you know, we had I Am, who's Sam Alford, and he's a poet, like true through and through a poet. But he's also like one of those freestylers that just goes off. If you get him on a beat and just put it on a loop, he'll spit for like 19 minutes, 20 minutes straight, just off the dome. And I'm like, how do you even do that? Like, you just keep on going. And then there's, you know, everyone knows Tommy, like Tommy Conquest, aka Tyler Eshman. Like, Tyler makes fun ass music. Like, he just be living life, and like a record would come about something like completely random that you're like, nah, this can't be a record. And then you listen to it like, yo, this is dope as hell. You talking about taxes?
Right. I do taxes to be fun.
Like, wait, this whole record about taxes, right, and not wanting to, you know, do normal shit like, you know, wake up in the morning and go to a job, but the shit don't sound nothing like that. Like his song Bounce, like I'm like, yo, this song fire and shit, and I start listening, I'm like, wait, man, this man talking about some life shit. And then, you know, we had TR, he was a whole animal himself, like freaking. Between producing, ARing, and just like, you know, organizing the whole collective, he himself was like a dope lyricist. Like I hold him up, like I think everyone in the area like holds him definitely up as like one of the best lyricists that we've met. And it's crazy because he's so humble. Like humble as shit. But in a minute he'll be like, yeah, I got a verse for you. And the way he wrote, it was so damn fast. Like you trying to work on like your 7th, 8th bar, and this man already on like bar 33. It's like, yo, dog, we just start writing. Right. He's like, I just start coming out with metaphors, bars, and everything. It's like, damn, how in the hell? And he was always that way. He's like, I don't know, it just flows from me. Like, he'll be like not even paying attention, just boom. So that's like B Council's been like, yeah, facts. So B Council is like, you know, a family and like just a whole organism of creatives.
So how many members is it? It's what, 8? That's what it sounds like, including you. So about 8.
8 or 9.
8 or 9. Is Josh Gently part of B Council as well?
Yeah. Okay. The resident DJ, artist, freaking AR.
Right.
Jazz has been on such a journey. Like, he's our DJ Khaled. Okay. Except that like he really be dropping the bars. I remember when he came out with this track Pressure. And people were like, yo.
You talking about the one he performed?
Yeah.
That was hard.
They was like
he
what? Jazz out here rapping? It's like, right, yo, I've been trying to tell y'all.
Okay, from behind them tables.
Yep, he be behind them turntables. But when you surrounded by a bunch of lyricists all the time, he couldn't help it.
Gotta get a little bit of the sauce.
Oh,
Who are your top five favorite industry artists?
industry. All right, we're gonna have to go with Cuzzo, Kendrick, J. Cole, Big Crit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one. The last two. All right. M.
Yep.
Damn. I wish it would have been like current and like overall. Luda.
Okay.
Yep.
And your top 3 favorite local artists?
Top 3. You see, I gotta exclude, B Council from this because
That's not fair.
okay, if we're not talking B Counts.
Well, we put B Council at number 1. Number 1. The whole group all together.
All right. Damn, there's so many dope ass artists. Like that's hard. That's harder than the industry.
Right, I'm already knowing.
Oh man. All right. Damn. Man, why did you have to ask this question?
Did it just a lot too. I'm like, that's damn wrong. He didn't do all 3, but I mean, you can try. We was gonna do 5, but I'm like, I don't think we could get to 5.
We gonna have to do 5. We can't do 3.
You wanna do 5? That's
Yeah,
fine.
5.
We
All
can
right.
do 5.
All right. All right. Shallant.
Mm-hmm. So that's 2.
Mm-hmm. KZ.
Okay, see. Make sure y'all tap in with their battle that they got coming up real soon. I think it's November 26th to 27th, 1 and 2.
Yep. Johnny Franchino.
Johnny Franchino. I think I've heard of him.
He's an incredible singer and rapper.
He's from right here?
Yep.
Okay. You have to tap me in with him.
Okay, what was that for?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we gotta take B Council off.
Okay, so B Council. Okay, so that's 3. That's 3 now, y'all. That B Council, they're giving.
Okay, damn. Even with 5, there's so many. Josiah, got to.
Oh, see, you brought Josiah up in.
Like the songwriting and production is crazy.
Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
Wow. It's such a split for 5. Like, if I could put 2 people.
You could do shared for the 5th.
Genesis, Renji, and Rated R Playboy.
Okay.
Like Genesis, like, man, he's such a character.
Mhm.
Like the way this music is, it's like a movie when he releases music. Like the way he puts together like, just not just the release, but like the visuals, the lead up, like the release concert, like it's crazy. And it's like, dog, this is like some, like, you could see this like in LA somewhere. Like the way he does a rollout is crazy. And Rated R has always had this. The way he raps is like, it's kind of like he's like free flowing. Just like it's kind of like a thought that just like has its tweaks, and it's like I just like listening to his music and just the way he like switches, and then he'll come like left field with like like a soul song joint. I'm like, this Rated R too? The hell? When do you make this?
Right.
I thought I listened to a whole different artist. What? Oh shit! That black coffee joint, man.
You have to tap in with both of them.
Facts.
Definitely tap me in, because I don't really know too much about either one of them, but I've heard about Rated R. But Genesis, I ain't really heard
Rated
about.
R, Genesis, and Johnny Franchino. Man.
Yeah, definitely tap me in with them. Then y'all definitely tap in with me too as well. So make sure y'all look at the Journey podcast.
Nice.
I have another question as well. With you being a business owner, an artist, producer, a father, you know, an all-around great man, a God, you know what I'm saying? What drives you to keep going? You know, life can throw a lot of little jabs, you know, knock you down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What keeps you going?
Leaving something for my kids and like a mark. I've always wanted to make a mark on the society. And like, I've always looked at people that have just influenced the world, not just like, you know, their areas. Like, you know the level of like dedication they put into this, and I'm more in love with the journey. No pun intended. But like everyone's like, you know, they see like what they've accomplished and like, yo, they're doing this, and this. But I'm more like, yo, that journey must have been crazy when no one believed. Like Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men on the planet. But that picture when he's just sitting there in like the whole makeshift Amazon thing in like a shitty office, I'm like, yo, at that moment when he was like, this ain't shit, dude. Nobody believed in me. Like, I probably should close this fucking company. Like, eBay out here killing. What the fuck am I doing making another eBay? Like, people are probably telling him, like, there's eBay. Well, what are you doing? And eBay's thing was like, at the time, people were like against like big business. So they're like, yeah, eBay's people. Like, people selling to people. You ain't gotta worry about, you know, Kohl's trying to advertise you something that you can get cheaper from a person. Right. And he's like, nah, my shit's gonna be all business. People are like, what? All business? No people. All strictly business. Right. To do that at that time was like, yo.
Right. Nobody knew how to do that.
Freaking artists like that went through like so much, and they're just like, yo, I just kept going. My last penny to my name. And I was like, fuck it. Let's go. So like, yo, that part of the journey is like ridiculous to me. Like when it's like the moment when anyone else would quit. When it seems like, if you were to believe it, like there's no chance at all. Like this don't even make any fucking sense right now. Still going for it. And then keep going for it, like past that point itself. Right. Like once you get to that point and it's like, I'm gonna go for it, and you still don't, like it don't pan out, and you keep pushing past that point. It's like, yo, that dedication and belief in the dream was ridiculous. Like how? Right. Like, because every day, you know, we got our struggles and like we hit them roadblocks, but sometimes you're like, damn, you know, I feel like saying fuck it right now. Honestly. And it's like someone had a harder road than this right now, and they had the same moment I'm having, and they said, nah, I want to say fuck it, and kept going, and then fell in the ass after this with a harder situation, and still kept going. So I'm like, nah, I can't quit. Nah. So them days when I'm like, you know, I feel like fuck, there's too much going on. Like I just want to like, you know, unload this plate and like fucking be like, all right, this off of it. Like, nah, I can't do that. And someone else wish they had this situation I'm in. Honestly. They'd be like, I wish I had this situation. This is what I'm dealing with. So I'm like, nah, there's no way. There's always like fucking someone out here like pushing through some shit that will look at your situation and be like, yo, fucking dudes that were homeless starting fucking $1 billion companies. That had dudes on the street for years. So it was like, I wish I had a fucking home to go to, like, a car, whip, income. Right. People to believe me, a family. Like, I lost all that. Right. I was in the streets. Right. And then kept going. Even then, at what seemingly was rock bottom. And now look at me. Forbes list billionaire. Right. So I'm like, nah, I can't not go. Got to.
Right.
So God himself is like, nah, bro. Nah.
Right, not yet. Right.
So he popped down and was like, all right, bro. This ain't it right here. All right, G, I got you.
Right.
I'm a bully. I ain't gonna fight you.
Right. Okay,
You know all.
I'm done. Right. Okay. On to the next. Right. Well, I highly commend you for not giving up on your dream. I know it's been a long time coming, but it's about due time. It's your place right now to go ahead and inspire the next generation to be the best them, and I definitely believe you will. You're already doing it anyway. Being a great individual that you are to your children, and even just out here for these other artists that might want to get started, today or tomorrow or whenever they hear your music. Nightcap, definitely. Is there any advice that you wish was given to you before becoming an artist that you would like to share with somebody that's just getting started now?
Yes. I would say there's two things. One, definitely find what you do that no one else does. Your version of the story. Because everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And everyone has their way of telling it. You find out what's yours. Don't, because I know as an artist, like sometimes you see like what's successful out there. Like, people doing this, people doing that. So maybe, I could do this. Like, I can do that. No. What's your story? Because that's their story. That's, that the baby, he does what he does because that's his story. The way he's like, all right, this is my story. That's the way I'm going to paint it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't tell his story, tell your story like his story. It's not the same. Just do what you do.
Right.
And it don't matter if it don't seem like it's what, people are going to gravitate to. Because as artists, you want people to mess with your music. You want that acceptance.
Right.
That's, some people are like, they just make it for them. But you also make it for other people to be like, yo, I feel what you feeling.
Right.
So they can't do that if you're not truly putting out what you feeling, how you feel.
Right.
So definitely that would be number one. And two, don't be in a rush.
Right.
Do not be in a rush. Plan it out and like lay out your goals from backwards. And I didn't learn that till late. Like when you set up goals, sometimes you're like, all right, I can't get to the goal I want, but I can do these small things, and you'll end up adding more steps than necessary. So you'll be like, all right, these are the things I can do. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and do this. And then like you've done all these moves and still you're not that much closer to your goal. So if you go backwards, you're like, all right, this is where I want to be right here. And this is, these are the things I need to do to get there. So I'm going to find out what are the steps I need to do in between this so I can get to this destination.
Right.
And I just like throwing it out there like, all right, that's the destination. And I'm going to just do these things until I get there.
Right.
So like taking your time and like planning it out, that's number two. That I would, so many artists would benefit if they're like, this is the release I'm putting out. This is what I'm doing to get there so that I can see it, like a whole planet. Because it's crazy because as people, we plan out our whole life. We're always planning out our life. And we're planning to the goal.
Right.
We're not just like, all right, I'm going to do this, and this, and whatever happens, hopefully I get there. We don't do that. Nothing else. So as an artist, especially someone that's like, you as an artist, you're a business, so you're not just like a creative.
Right.
And that'll be like the third thing. You as an artist, you gotta understand that you're a product.
Right.
So as a product, you have to know what it does well, what it doesn't do, how to promote it, who's the audience for it. You can't just like throw it out there. Right. They say like, 90% of small businesses and startups fail. So if you think about yourself as a product in a business, you're like, all right, the odds are stacked against me. Most people fail. Find out why.
Right.
What are the things that most businesses start out and do wrong? So if you separate yourself from like, as a creative, you're like, all right, I got this song I want to do, and it's like, all right, You gotta take that hat off.
Right.
Now put the business hat on.
Right.
Okay, so you gotta talk. If it helps, put a mirror in front of yourself. All right.
We have
So,
a meeting.
This is what we doing.
Right.
This is what we not doing.
Right.
So those are the three things.
Okay.
Plan everything out. Have patience. Find out what you do and the way your story should be told. And thinking of yourself as a business.
That's gems. Free gems. You can't get this anywhere else for free. Make sure you tap in with my brother Rune Will. What's up next for Rune Will?
Man, we got some stuff on the low that I can't speak about, but I'm excited. I should say it has something to do with design. And High Soul's coming out next year, 2022. Can't wait.
Look out.
Beat Council, you know, we got Armand Wilkes coming. So like, I can't wait. I've been in the studio with this man like fucking past 6-7 months working on this project. So I hadn't heard like so many iterations of it. And I'm like, yo, I can't wait to figure this. Like the promos, still bit, like planning and everything. It's gonna be crazy. And the production, like that's things have opened up is crazy. And the visuals, so yeah, there's so much coming with Rune Will and Beat Council. I hate that everything has to be on the schedule. I was just talking about schedules and everything. Right. But damn it.
Right. I just want to give it all to y'all.
I was like, here it is, right here. Right. There you go. All of it, all at once.
Right. It's too much. Overload. Right. Where can people find you and your music?
Rune Will on every platform. Type in Rune Will. You'll find me on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, freaking whatever you stream music, you'll find me. Go to the website, runewill.com. Stay in tune with new things. And then, you know, Beat Council. Type that in. Production, designs. And I got to say about the secret coming out. Vibes. Just wait for it. Vibes. VIBE. ZILLA.
Look out. I'll tap in with my brother Rune Will. Make sure you follow him on IG. Follow him on your favorite streaming platform, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you play your music. Tap in with my brother Nightcap. Love, hate, sip, slow. And that was a Cane Flow.
Yep.
Make sure y'all tap in with him. Definitely dope visuals, dope vibes, all around great creator. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you being on the Journey podcast. Make sure you tap in with us, all right?